Okay, so it's 3, 2, 1. We are on it to the audience. We can start the session. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to Life Pharma Coalition. After scoring a century, well, this is the next run that we are running for. That is the 101st episode. A century is always special because we know that if we get out on 99, that's probably the most unfortunate incident in our life. But scoring a century, it's reaching a milestone. And that's what LPC has done last Sunday, exactly at the same time at Ville Parle, Mumbai, where LPC, because of the support of such a lot of participants, our speakers, our well-wishers, and of course, our sponsors, we have been able to pull out this event in a grand way. So thank you so much, everybody, for instilling their faith on us and keeping this journey going. In fact, it is today no longer a journey. It has become a movement in learning and development that we so lovingly call LPC. Yes, Life Pharma Coalition. Friends, we all know that in a typical jungle, a tiger and a deer get up in the morning. A deer thinks that if it doesn't run very fast or faster than a tiger, it will probably lose its life. A tiger thinks if I am not able to run faster than the deer, I will miss my lunch. So it is basically a fight between survival and eating. And that is why in 75% of the times, the deer wins the race because the deer knows it doesn't get a chance to live a second life. But a tiger will always get a chance to have its lunch. So in the words of Martin Luther King, he said that if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl, but keep moving and keep learning. Let us focus on our goals, irrespective of the obstacles. So learning new things may be perceived by some as an opportunity, but for others, it may be a threat. Well, it's the way we look at it. In life, when lemons are thrown at us, it's up to us how we utilize it. We can make a lemonade and enjoy it, or we can spray it into our eyes and start crying. So that is LPC. So keep the journey going for learning and development. And I'll take your permission to share a few slides on the journey of LPC. So once again, welcome to the world's largest online pharma discussion platform, Life Pharma Coalition, which is purely dedicated to learning and sharing. Well, this has become India's largest pharma discussion platform because of your support with 70 plus speakers, 180 plus, 70 plus pharma companies and institutions, 180 plus speakers, and with a wonderful 20,000 plus Facebook and YouTube reach. And we are conquering milestones after milestones in our journey. So we have a strong team of 28 executive members who are spread across the length and breadth of this industry as well as this wonderful country. And they share with us every week wonderful insights so that we can learn and develop us in this learning journey. Dear friends, thank you so much for your overwhelming support for LPC 100 Conclave on 20th of March at Orchid Hotel, Mumbai. Without you, this would not have been possible, and it could only become so successful, such a mega event, because of the trust, the love, and support of everybody. For any collaboration with LPC, you can please contact Raman sir, Yashwan sir, ICS sir, or me for any type of session support or other programs that you would feel collaborating with LPC. This is what the entire LPC 100 was. We had top leaders from across the industry where they spoke about their insights. We had the best panel discussion on different categories where we got insights from the top leaders of this wonderful pharma industry. And need I say more? it paved the way for some more programs where we want to go in a zonal basis for North India, East India, South and West, where we can have zonal LPC conclaves, because the success of LPC 100 has given us the confidence that yes, we can once again pull it up with everybody doing it zonally. And this is the total LPC 100 conclave at Ville Parle, Mumbai, Hotel Orchid. The smiling faces says everything I don't need to say, because that shows the success and that shows the enthusiasm, the confidence of the pharma leaders on this wonderful platform that is LPC. And we have been ably supported. Thank you so much to Imagica Health for being so supportive in our learning endeavor. Just in a nutshell, Imagica Health has been exploring the intersection between design, digital health technology, and content marketing for leading brands. In fact, they have a team of ex-marketeer, of medical writer, graphic designers, streamers, coders, who serve the pharmaceutical industry for bettering customer engagement, bringing patient centricity, improving control on the sales team, and increasing the return on investment for various major campaigns. So thank you so much, Imagica Health, for being so supportive to our learning journey. Let us come to LPC 100. This indeed is very special, because after scoring a century, the next run means a lot to us. So today we have on board on the Young Leadership episode, which is on building a collaborative learning community. We have Sridhar Iyer sir, who is a pharma consultant and a leadership coach. And today he's going to throw light on improving productivity. We also have our own Yashwan Mishra sir, who is the founder director of Benzene Ring Learning Solutions. And today he is going to share his learnings on the LPC 100 conclave, because indeed we were absolutely flooded with a lot of learnings, and he is going to share a few insights from those learnings with all of us. And I'll be moderating without having a co-moderator. So I'll be managing the show along with Yashwan sir, who is going to be the speaker as well as co-moderator, because he has donned different hats at different times. And the need of the hour is that he needs to put on 2 hats today. And along with that, we have got a live participants in the form of Mr. Arumugam Arasan, who is the zonal manager ASCA. We have Sudeep Bhaumik, who is the zonal sales manager RenoCare, and Mr. Nasiruddin Chishti, who is the zonal manager Mediarc Healthcare. So do we need more? So thank you so much, LPC Live Pharma Coalition, to all the audiences who were watching the program live at Mumbai from the Ville Parle program, and they also saw it live on Facebook page and YouTube page. So please keep watching, please keep supporting our learning journey. So thank you so much to all the audiences who have been so supportive to us. Now it is time I introduce to you our speakers once again, because without them, the journey would not be complete. So first of all, I will request Sridhar Iyer sir to just give a 1-minute brief of what he has for us today. Sridhar sir, over to you.
Thank you so much, Arpan. It's a great privilege to be there on the LPC 101, and 101 is a Shagun Muhur or a Muhur kind of thing. So I consider it as a great opportunity for me to be there. What I would like to discuss is one of the most important aspects of in any business is employee productivity. And everybody tries to use different ways and techniques to increase the productivity as such. So today I'll share with you one of those which has been found to be very, very successful and studied by psychologists. That's what I would like to talk on today, on how do we use one of the techniques of improving productivity.
Fantastic, sir. Connectivity increases productivity. And the more we connect, the more we collaborate, and the more we co-create, which has been the mantra of LPC, the productivity goes high. And we are looking very much forward to hearing your insights on increasing productivity. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I will go over to Yashwan Mishra, sir, for a brief 1 minute of his learnings from LPC 100.
Thank you very much, Arpan. I am really delighted and humbled to be a part of LPC as a speaker after a long time. So at the onset, along with Arpan, I would like to thank each and everyone who contributed, participated in LPC 100 conclave. It was a great event, and it was mesmerizing event experience for us. Looking into the amount of knowledge enrichment we got on that day. So it was a good idea. We thought, why don't we share the key learning of the keynote speakers in this forum? Because of the technical problem, many of the learners could not attend physically, and also there was a technical glitch in the Facebook and YouTube live also, so many people could not attend. So what I'm going to share today is a brief take home of all the keynote speeches of LPC 100 conclave. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Yashwan sir. So it would be reliving the moments of last Sunday with today. For those who missed it out because of some engagement or a technical glitch, well, today is a chance to once again relive those memories. So thank you, Yashwan sir. Looking forward. Today we are having a live audience also. In fact, we are having a wonderful set of live audience who are going to also share their experience with LPC, because they have been with this platform almost from inception. So first of all, I would like to go to Mr. Aramugam Arasan. So to share his brief insights on his journey with LPC and the learnings that he has got from it. Over to you, Mr. Aramugam.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm very happy. I'm involved with the LPC from the beginning of lockdown. When the entire industry was locked down, what will happen to the future, when the uncertainty was there. When I attended the meeting, they gave very clear instruction. What is happening, what is going to happen to the pharma industry. It was very helpful for me. That time I was sitting at home. Then I started seeing every Sunday, 11 a.m. I started attending. Then I started sharing with my college mate. I'm a pharmacy graduate. I have a lot of groups and I have a lot of manager group. Everything I shared it, and many people appreciated me. How you got this information and share the link to me. Then I started sharing. Then LPC learned many things from LPC. I don't know about anything in marketing before that. Now I decided after LPC, now after my going to head office another 2-3 years, I want to add the international marketing. It is there. Many international topics become very useful for me. How to get into South African country, Canada, almost I got some rough knowledge. Style. Initially before manager, boss, leader, but in leader itself, there are 10 type of leadership style, servant leadership style, many more knowledges. Really helpful, thankful to the LPC, and they are with the noble cause. They are not going to earn anything. Sunday, one day they're getting time, but coming and sparing the time and sitting and talking in Sunday also 2-3 hours. Sometime after 2 p.m. it will go on. So they are not doing for some other benefit. They are doing for the noble cause. When Gandhiji walked, the entire crowd of India walked behind him because of the noble cause. Like the LPC started with some 4 people, some 10-20 audience. Because of the good sharing knowledge, free knowledge, everybody started following LPC. That's why we made 100 session in Mumbai, and it's going to be very successful in future also. Like any region, every region we can conduct in live and digital also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aramugam, for sharing your insights on the journey of LPC. Yes, you were there right from inception. So you have been through the thick and thin that LPC journey experienced or witnessed during this entire 1 year. During this entire 99 to 100 episodes. So you have been a crusader as far as the learning journey is concerned. And in fact, it is the support of people like you that it has become a movement, and this movement of learning and sharing. So thank you so much, Aramugam sir, for being so reciprocative about your learnings and sharing it with us. So now I will go over to Mr. Sudeep Bhaumik. Yes, he is also one of those warriors who have been in this movement of learning and development almost from inception. And without his support, things wouldn't have been so easy for us. So I now would request Mr. Sudeep Bhaumik so that he can share his insights about his association with LPC as well as the learnings that he has taken from this. So over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Arpan, for giving me the opportunity to share my views. And Yashwan sir and Sridhar sir and my colleagues Nasiruddin Argugam and all the viewers here. In fact, it is a great, amazing for us because when the first lockdown came in the 2020, say especially from April onwards, we have all been booked at all our house. We should not go out. So we are all puzzled what to do and what not to do. We cannot keep our brain as a stunt. So as a miracle way, this LPC has came out with leading by Mr. Raman Marke, then Mr. Binod Vaswani, ICS Verma, and of course our Yashwan sir. And they have started to play this LPC. And I was very fortunate that our very initial stage, I was a member of this LPC group. Every Sunday at 11 o'clock, we used to sit. And now with these 4 people, which has been stand out, it has become a balloon shape now with 28 executive members across the world. So it is a great event. So we are thinking for initially that we should at least do 50 episodes. When the 50 episode cover, then we are thinking of 100 episode. And it has so happened that last Sunday, we have done the 100 episode. We have covered that 100 conclave at Mumbai. And it is now such a dimension because we are keep on discussing how to make it more reachable to the our audience. So now it has been diversified to this LPC that what we are doing now every Sunday at 11 o'clock. Then it has been given the opportunity for the mentors program. Those who want to really come up in the company or in their professional life, the mentors program. And I was an active member of this mentors program where all the mentors are coming and giving the guidance to the upcoming leaders, the young leaders. Especially we have done a class on communication, how to do the good presentations, how to do the skill development and this public presentations. We have done this emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, we know many of you might be knowing or will be knowing that it depends on many of the parameters like self-awareness, self-regulations, motivation, empathy, and social skills. So these are the things one by one when our mentor are giving, like, it was very much amazing. We are having our live interactions. What is our doubt? We are getting it get cleared off. And then transformational leadership. We know only one leader, but there are so many of leaderships are there, like servant leadership, transformational leadership, authoritative leadership. So this type of leadership, when we are understanding, we are able to know that what are the things we should do with our colleagues, with our down the line and up the line, so make it more fruitful. Because after all, performance matter, and for performance, 2 things is very much important. That is capability and efforts. Where this capability depends on this knowledge, side by side skill is also important. Efforts, yes, efforts, attitude and passion is required. That individually may have, should we have, to when they are coming to the profession. But the skill and knowledge is such a thing. It is, I always use the term learn, unlearn, and relearn. Because if we keep in our mind the things what we have a preconceived idea, we cannot able to grow. So we should also unlearn. We should become a student once again. And again, we have to relearn to make it more applicable to the our own profession for our own job satisfactions. And because as we all know, always we have the things that control the controllables and stretch without stress. So for that, knowledge and skill is very much important, which I'm getting very much benefited from this LPC group. So I hats off to all the management. Thank you. Thank you. This is all my sharing. Over to Arpan.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Sudeep. Well, you rightly said the illiterate of this 21st century are not those who can not read or write. They are rather those who cannot unlearn, learn, and relearn. And that is what this learning movement is all about. That is what the journey of LPC is all about. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. Next, I will move on to Mr. Nasiruddin, our own Mr. Nasiruddin, who was there with us on LPC 100. So, Mr. Nasiruddin, we would definitely love to hear your insights, your learnings from this LPC 100 conclave. Over to you, Mr. Nasiruddin.
Thank you, Arpan. Good morning, everyone. I am Nasiruddin Chishti, ZBM, working at MediArts Healthcare. I'm very much fortunate and privileged to be a part of LPC core team. I regularly, without missing any session, used to watch LPC sessions on Sundays. In fact, those Sundays were not Sundays; those were learn days for me. The entire journey, how it happened and started during lockdown time, I was having ample of time. In fact, we all were having ample of time. And I wanted to upgrade myself at that time to become a better version of myself, in which LPC platform had helped me a lot in a sense of to upscale, rescale, and to be a better version of myself. And why this platform was good platform as per my view, the topics which were covered during all LPC sessions were very relevant to which we can correlate with our daily working. And in fact, the topics of marketing, leadership, global, academics, with eminent speakers who are, expert domain as well as subject matter experts were there with rich experience. So we were able to interact with them. We were able to ask questions, even learn a lot thing, and they were having, in fact, very vast experience, which has helped us to gain much and much knowledge from them. And why in today's scenario, I feel learning is so important, as it has been said that learning, it is a continuous process and there is always room in the area of improvement. So LPC, this platform where I had learned the current happenings, future happenings, how the market is changing, and the pharma industries had changed, had evolved. With that help, which has LPC sessions have helped me to change the mindset of mine, to anticipate with the changes what are currently happening. So at that time, doctor success was really a very, difficult challenge for us, and it was had been a challenge. So lot many things, how to go digital towards doctor. So many pointers were there which has guided me and my team to, be in a better church which with doctors. To know everything around us nowadays, it is digital. So it has helped me in a great sense to me. I also learned different operation and management, how it works. And LPC 100 conclave, which happened last Sunday at Mumbai, was phenomenal. Got a chance to interact with many amendment, peoples who are a benchmark in the industries. Got opportunity to meet them, interact them, and it also helps to, improving my network as well as connection. So really, it has been a privilege. I'm very much privileged to be a part of LPC team, and I had learned many things. So my Sundays are learning days for me. So without any priority, I kept out a time from 11 to 1 and 1.5. So it is great for me. Thank you so much, Arpan sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nasiruddin. Well, it was a very emotional talk from you. It full of passion to learn. In fact, Sundays are learn days, and really admire the way you said that. Yes, it is very true. The COVID pandemic actually shut the physical doors, but opened the mental doors. In fact, we started developing ourselves as a human being. We started developing ourselves as a learning person, and the doors were opened to again reskill ourselves and upskill ourselves, because the physical world was slowly shifting towards the digital world, and then we came up with the hybrid digital world. And exactly, an LPC has been a crusader to support that movement, so that each and everybody who is in some way associated with this wonderful pharma industry gets a slice of knowledge, so that he can take the learning journey forward. So thank you so much, Mr. Muhammad Nasiruddin, for being a part of this journey and being so supportive for this movement. So now I will go over to Sridhar sir. Once again, sorry to keep you waiting for so long, but then the emotions are really outpouring as far as our live audience is concerned. And celebrating a milestone of reaching a century is indeed very special. And you can understand all the people who have been so supportive, who have been part of this journey, would always like to say something more that they felt out of this entire program. So Sridhar sir, introduction, he doesn't need at all. But still then, if I need to say 3 or 4 lines for him, I would say that he is a pharma consultant and a leadership coach with over 30 years of experience in pharma sales and training in organizations like Piramal Healthcare, UCB Pharma, Panacea Biotech, and Boehringer Ingelheim. And his current assignment is head and L&D and transformation at Nuvoco Vitus, and his expertise are on 3 very important things: organization development, sales effectiveness, and change management. So now I will request Sridhar sir to please take the session and enlighten us with his knowledge. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Arpan, for that introduction. I'll just today take a topic which is of very much of everybody's interest. And though it is talking about productivity, I think this session will help us all understand that how do we also have a change in the mindset in terms of dealing with our own people and getting the best out of everybody. And of course, the best out of ourselves as well, right? So there is a famous statement that belief moves mountains, right? And when you ask this question whether this is possible, many people say, yeah, ho sakta hai, lekin kabhi suna nahi, live kabhi example kabhi zyada malum nahi hai. But I think even many of you would be also remembering the story that when one of the story of Dashrath Manjhi, right, where he talked about where he decided that after the death of his wife, when she had a fall from the mountain, when she was coming to give him the afternoon lunch, right, and that's a moment that he said that, okay, this mountain has been an obstruction for the people in my village to come to their farmlands, and therefore I would cut these mountains and create a road. And I'm sure many of you must have even viewed the movie also, the Mountain Maji, the Mountain Man, right? Just one couple of things, that the perseverance of this person and the belief that he can do this even single-handedly has really changed and really made us understand that belief can certainly move mountains. It took him 22 years to single-handedly break this mountain, and he used his own innovative ways to even crush those mighty big boulders, right, which generally people would not even think of even breaking a piece of it, right? And then he created this road. Similar is an example of Arunima Sinha, right? After getting her leg amputated because of an accident, I'm sure many of you would be knowing the details of the story. I'm not going to go through that. But after getting a leg amputated, generally a common man would say, ki, oh, now life has come to an end. I would not be fully competent enough to walk, to run. But this lady had a different thought in her mind. She said that if the Almighty has saved my life despite so many trains passing on my leg, right? And if that's the condition, then I think I can do something which is absolutely fantastic. And then she decided that she would climb the Mount Everest. Here you find that she's practicing on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you see the image when she had climbed the Mount Everest with holding the flag of India very proudly, right? So these are two classic examples, and I'm sure everybody would be thinking in terms of, as this is a learning platform, and Arpan shared that the learner of the 21st century is one who learns, unlearns, and relearns, right? With everything, I think we keep learning, right? So I would just like to, had it been an interacting session, then maybe we would have asked for the learnings, but I'm sure many would agree to the learnings which come up here is belief becomes realities, right? How strong is your belief depends on whether you convert it into a reality, right? Second is that you embrace challenge and have a can-do attitude. I think those who have a very strong belief, they certainly possess a can-do attitude, right? And then they can, the challenges in fact motivate them. Okay. The third one is my potential is limitless. These people believe that their potential is limitless and it cannot be obstructed. They have a tendency to believe that, yes, I can grow, which is a key aspect of growth mindset. I think that's another topic which we can discuss and understand, because of which they have a grit and passion and agility, which will enable them to have a continuous growth. The story also tells us that failures are not final and they are learning events, right? I think this is one very important aspect, and I can learn anything with training, grit, and agility. I think Learners Forum and the Trainers Forum also need to believe this, that we can train people on different aspects. And I think pharmaceutical industry is the greatest example of training a graduate who is not knowing anything about the medicine, right? But just because of sheer training, he is able to converse with doctors who have spent around 7 to 10 years in the medical field, right? I think that's one very, very important aspect which we all can be proud about. Focus on efforts and process for excellence. I think that's one. And my efforts and attitudes determine my abilities. And persist in the face of setbacks. And the last one, of course, there could be many. See efforts as a path of mastery. I think this is just on the last, I would just like to take a minute. The efforts as a path of mastery, I think we have a lot of example, right? And many of you would know that if you would like to become legend, then you need to have a 10,000 hours of training that goes as per the study as such. And the famous players say that I had missed 3,678 shots from a 3-point scale, right? When Johnson talks about it, saying that only then I could become a great shooter of basketball, right? So I think these are the people who believe in all these. So the social scientists, they studied this phenomena of how people are able to achieve such kind of so-called unimaginable successes, and this is they have termed as a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I have taken it as it is from the quote, right? There's nothing changed. So self-fulfilling prophecy is a socio-psychological phenomena of someone predicting or expecting something, and this prediction or expectation coming true simply because the person believes in it and puts in efforts to make the belief successful, right? And I think that's the crux of today's thing. I think we need to understand that, and we will subsequently have some question answer. So this suggests that people's beliefs influence their actions. When defined situations well, they are real. They see that happening. They visualize that happening in their real life, and then it becomes a reality. So self-fulfilling prophecy, if you can just have it in a nutshell, we can go to the next slide, Yashwan. Yeah. So if you instill your beliefs or your thoughts of somebody's potential being able to do that, I think all coaches do that very well with the players, right? Then they influence the person who is going to get that thing done, right? With your actions, enabling environment. And then the person who is actually working on it start getting results. And as the impacts are seen, right? Then the other person also sees, yes, I can do this. And their actions also are in line with their strong beliefs, which has been passed over from somebody else who has believed. And that gets reinforced to your beliefs as well. So this is a fantastic effect, which is also known as a Pygmalion effect, right? The self-fulfilling prophecy is also known as a Pygmalion effect. And it is always found to be the belief becoming stronger and then actions becoming much more impactful. Right? Okay, next. The exactly opposite of this is a Golem effect, right? If the teacher believes that the child is slow and the child will believe that, yes, the teacher is saying that I can't learn, so therefore I can't learn, right? Here is an example from Tare Zameen Pe. I'm sure everybody would recollect how the father talks to his younger son that you can't do anything, and the person loses his confidence. And then the next part, you also know that when the teacher starts believing, right, that the child can do wonders. You have seen that how Amir Khan has brought that up in the picture as well, right? So the next part, next session, So here is an example, a classic example. This is also studied by social psychologists. Is that now you see in this picture that the students on the left-hand side are 100% attentive to what the teacher is speaking, right? Whereas on the students on the right-hand side, they're not. Right now, this is a simple example, which was experiment which was carried out by social scientists, that when children are on the right-hand side of the teacher, right, there is a greater attention by the teacher on the right-hand side. That's a normal way, right? And therefore, people who are the students who are sitting on the right side, they perform better, right? So this is one example. Now, how do we, understanding this, how do we increase productivity? I think that's one thing which we can learn from this. I'll just take you to the 7-step formula, which will enable us to help improve productivity, help increase retention of people. I think that's one very important aspect for each of the managers, right? First is accept people, appreciate their achievements and efforts. I think most of the times the efforts are not appreciated as much, right? So if you are able to accept people whosoever are there in your team, appreciate their achievements and efforts, it brings in a change. Second, believe in their capabilities, right? So you need to spend some time to understand what are their capabilities and believe that they can provide results. Clarify your higher expectations very positively, right? And this is what the crux of the Pygmalion effect or self-fulfilling prophecies, how impactfully you are clarifying the expectations from somebody else and believing that they can do it, right? The fourth is D, develop capabilities, right? Now, that's again, I think most of us do as trainers and as managers, right? And ensuring the enabling environment, many times it is enabling, right? If you just replace E with E with U, I think it becomes enabling, right? And how do you ensure that you offer an enabling environment? The next letter is F, which is feedback. If you catch people doing right things, I think, and communicating that to them, right, it brings in a continuous improvement. And the last but not the least is developing a growth mindset, a mindset which tells the other person that you can do it, a mindset which tells the other person that failure is not final, a mindset that you can tell a person that despite not being a science graduate or a medicine student, right, you can still converse well with the doctors, right, in the language which they understand. So this is the ABCDEFG, a formula which if we just practice with anybody, forget our team members, if we can do it with our children, I think it brings in a fantastic results, right? And there are up to 10 examples. Each one of you can share many of such examples as such. I think I have used this extensively in the pharma as well as in my current role in cement, and it has always helped me to ensure that people perform much better than even your expectations over a period of time. Thank you so much. It was nice to interact with all of you. If you have any questions, maybe you could take that.
Thank you so much, Sridhar sir. That was really a very motivating presentation from your end, especially the ABCDEFG of the Pygmalion theory. Now, what I'm tempted to ask you is, sir, generally, Pygmalion theory or the Rosenthal effect, it says that a leader is only successful if he can motivate the team so that they can scale newer heights. Considering today's leadership, sir, do you think today's leaders have that resilience as well as the patience to allow their team members to express themselves and also give them the time to do that? Aren't they a little bit in a hurry to make people perform instead of giving them a time to get along and then perform?
Yeah, thank you so much, Arpan, for that question. I think this is a timeless thing, right? You have examples from the past history, even to today's times, right? Now, all of you know the example of Thomas Alva Edison, right? When he was going to a school and when he was asking questions, and then the teachers were also finding him that he's most of the times on some different thought process, etc. They wrote a note to his mother. The principal wrote a note to his mother and put it in an envelope and asked Thomas to take it to his mother and show it to her. Right? Thomas took it to his mother, and the mother opened the envelope and she read out the contents of it to Edison, saying that your son is a very brilliant son, and therefore our school will not be able to teach him for his being so inquisitive, right? He needs a special attention. Maybe you could do that at your home or find a new school, right? And this was what Edison's mother told him, and then subsequently the boy got that belief that he is a genius and he needs to work on it, right? And today all of you also know Edison's statement that genius is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration, right? That 1% inspiration was given by his mother, and later on, I think even today, the maximum inventions to anybody's credit is Edison. That's one story ages back, right? In today's world, right, one very, very important aspect I would like to share with each one of you is one oxymoron, that is slow is fast. I'm repeating it. Slow is fast, right? Now everybody will be confused. ये क्या बता रहा है? ये क्या बोल रहा है? But studies have shown that when you're working with people, slow is fast. If you would like to bring in a change in a person, the initial few days, it appears to be very slow. Once the student or once the person picks that up, then the speed becomes extremely fast, right? So even if there is a pressure in terms of time and the constraint of time, I think how do we find time to work with people, allowing them to fail, allowing them to experiment, allowing them to learn from each of their failures is, I think, extremely essential. And this, I have an experience of implementing this, and I have found fantastic results in terms of the change that happens. Even in the 15 days of training programs which you used to conduct, right? The initial few days, 6-7 days, used to be really very, very concerned, right? Ye isko samjhega ki nahi, ye samajh raha hai ki nahi? Because I was conducting a batch for the mass marketing, where most of the employees were recruited who were just 12th pass in Nicholas Pyramid, right? And then telling them what is a constriction, what is vasoconstriction was a difficult thing. And I was conducting a batch in Lucknow. And then they taught me what it needs to be spoken. Isko dhaminiyon ka sikudna bolte hai, right? And then I started using the same terminology, and then that brought in a change, right? So I think slow is fast is one thing which each one of us need to remember. If we can be as slow with our own children, we can be as slow with our own team members as well. And we can see that dramatic result of being consistent and slow with people in the initial days, and later on the results becomes literally fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much. In fact, you took us back to the story of Thomas Alva Edison. In fact, the letter that the teacher wrote to his mother, which was carried by Thomas. Okay. In fact, Edison discovered that letter many years after his mother died. And there the teacher had actually written that this boy cannot be kept in school because he is much below standards. But his mother put the Pygmalion effect that you are so good that you cannot be put in the school. You are a special child. And for that reason, it was Edison's mother who basically took up his education. And today, he has made a difference because he has lit the world, not only with learning, but giving us the impetus to learn. And another line that I really love was that he succeeded in making the incandescent bulb in his 10,000th attempt. So that means he failed 9,999 times. And the answer he gave was that, well, I didn't fail. In fact, I found out 9,999 times the ways in which you cannot make an incandescent bulb. And that was the positivity in the negativity. And that is the aspect, and that is the mindset we all need to conquer our failures, because failures give us a chance to learn. They give us a chance to know that this is not the way to succeed. Let me try out a different way to succeed. And in fact, Tare Zameen Pe movie, sir, that you were referring, it both had the Pygmalion effect as well as the Golem effect. The Golem effect were the parents of that specially able child, but the Pygmalion effect was Amir Khan, who discovered the genius in that person. And in fact, if a combination of these two effects have to be witnessed in a movie, it was Tare Zameen Pe. Now, sir, I would like to ask you another thing, sir. Today's leaders don't like too much experimenting, generally, because they are going with the stereotypes. Is it because that they do not have a safety net, that if they don't fail, if they fail, they will not get another chance to try? Is it? So is it the absence of a safety net that prevents or at least makes the leaders reluctant to try out new things nowadays?
No, I think there are a lot many leaders who keep doing, trying and achieving that. It's the question of the mindset which even leaders have, and also the self-fulfilling prophecy is also to be exhibited by the leaders as well, right? Now, if there is somebody who is continuously telling that you are not useful, you are not good, you are not good, probably, and if your self-esteem is not very strong enough to take that, you also start thinking that, okay, I am not good, I'm not good, and I'm not good. And that reflects in your actions as words as well. So it's a cascade effect which goes down, right? But if one understand and has a good growth mindset, like as you said with regards to the Edison also, that 999 times he failed, right? And then he said that, oh, I came to know how it cannot be done by 999 times, right? Now, that's the distinct thing which Carol Dweck explains in her book, The Growth Mindset, right? I think maybe we could have a small session on growth mindset as well. And I would request all those who are interested to read that book. Even the first 15 pages, if you read, right, you get to know the crux of it, because I know that most of you do not have that much of time to read as well. But the crux is, these people, they understand that I can achieve. Failure is not final, right? And therefore, if the same thing is adopted by leaders today, I think we find the greatest of the results. I'm sure WhatsApp University has helped us a lot in terms of such examples. And one video I would just I recall of APJ Abdul Kalam, Bharat Ratna, right? He said, when I failed, Dr. Saha went to the press conference and said that I failed, right? And not Abdul Kalam, right? And then he gave him many chances to succeed. And when he succeeded, Abdul Kalam succeeded, he said, now you go and attend the press conference. I think that's one thing which is a clear-cut thing which tells that how leaders can have the courage to take failures and give credit to the people with whom he is working as well, right? I think these are things which needs to be understood and practiced. Those who practice, they certainly succeed, right? Otherwise, we always have reasons.
Fabulous, fabulous, sir. Yes, true leaders are those who would like to take a little less than their share of success and a little more of their share of failure. And that is what makes a leader unique. I think Mr. Sudeep Bhaumik has a question up his sleeves for you. So I would request Mr. Bhaumik to ask you the question.
Yeah, thank you, Arpan. Sridhar sir, it is a really awesome presentations. The way you have started this this belief, as we all know, that belief, to get belief and to achieve, you have to first conceive. And conceive, believe, and achieve. These three mantra makes a man more perfect and achieve in their life. And you have started that belief even moves the mountain. And you have given the example of this Dasrath Maji. I've also seen that film. I'm very much film lover. So I've seen that film, and really the way we have told exactly matching. So here I want to ask one question, sir, to you. So here, while you are discussing, you have told the growth mindset. So I request you to please clarify what are the things a person should do with the growth mindsets in comparison to this fixed mindset. Because in our locality, in our society, in our community, we have seen some people have the fixed mindset or stagnant mindset, and some people have the growth mindset. So if you just clarify us that what is the advantage of growth mindset over to in comparison to fixed mindset.
Right. So before I start off going into that, right, I would like each one of you to remember which was your favorite subject in your school days. Just remember, right? And who was your favorite teacher? Most of the times, what I have studied and I have understood is, when I did this for the survey in all my training programs, more than 86% of the times, right, the person who had the favorite subject, suppose the favorite subject was maths, and when the next question is, who was your favorite teacher, right, invariably he or she would say that it was maths teacher. So this was 86% of the times. Now, one thing which goes here is that now the teacher creates an interest in that topic and makes you believe that you can do well in that topic, right? And that helps the person to perform much better. I'm sure many of you would have been also thinking that whether this is correlating, right? Of course, there are 14% of people who would have different teachers, right? Now, in the case of a growth mindset and a fixed mindset, now the belief that the teacher infuses in you that you can do maths, right? And the person, even if he is poor in maths, still that standard, right? Up to 5th standard, 6th standard से मैंने एकदम maths अच्छा कर लिया, right? वो एक belief instill किया कि आप कर सकते हो. और वो बच्चा फिर उस हिसाब से पढ़ने लगता है, and then he goes to the teacher, asks questions, he becomes much more inquisitive, right? And starts taking interest in doing that. Now, what happens now the teacher has infused a growth mindset in the child, right? And helped him believe that he can do it. So the entire crux of growth mindset is I can learn anything. Training can make me, learning or training can help me learn anything. Whereas people with fixed mindset would say कि ये मेरे बस की बात नहीं, right? Now, in the example of Arunima Sinha, most people would say कि अभी तो मेरा चलना ही मुश्किल है, पहाड़ चढ़ना तो मेरे बस की बात नहीं, right? Whereas she said, with practice, I can do that. And when she went to Jamko Tabai, the first women mountain climber of Everest, she said कि आप मेरे पास आए अपने पैर कटवाने के बाद यही एक चीज है बताती है कि आप 100% एवरेस्ट सक्सेसफुल हो जाए. So that's the kind of growth mindset she had, right? So they believe, the people with growth mindset believe that challenges help me grow, right? Whereas a fixed mindset person would say challenges help me not to put efforts, right? The second thing is the growth mindset feel that failure is an opportunity for me to learn, unlearn and relearn, right? The fixed mindset person would say कि failure is final. 2 बार कोशिश की, नहीं जमा, छोड़ दिया, right? The growth mindset person would say कि let me try out new things. There are so many examples, and even I had tried this out with myself, just sharing with you. At the age of 54, I said, let me try running a marathon, right? And 21 kilometers, half marathon, of course, not the full one, right? And it started off, and I did that. It was so painful, but I could do that. I think that's one thing which even I tested out whether this philosophy really works for ourselves, right? So that's why I'm just quoting it. I can't tell you my timing. It was not at all good, but then that was not the point. I just wanted to understand whether this works for you as well, right? People with growth mindset are ever hungry for feedback, right? And that's what we see in all the players, right? They have coaches and they keep asking, right? Not only the coaches, they also listen to the friends, right? There's a classic example of Sachin Tendulkar. There's a video on the YouTube as well, right? That Sachin Tendulkar, when he used to swing his bat, right, for the pull shots or then the elbow guard used to obstruct him, right? Only he knew this. None of the coaches had told him about this. But when he had been to Chennai for some match, and he was in his room and he had ordered for a coffee, the waiter came and he served the coffee. And he said, "Sir, I'm your great fan." Of course, Sachin had fans all across, right? So Sachin also is used to hearing this dialogue as many times. He said, "Thank you so much," right? And then the waiter said, "May I share with you something?" Very hesitantly and very politely he asked. And Sachin said, "Yes, okay, go ahead." So he said, "Sir, I have seen you all shots, all your matches, and I'm a great fan. And what I do is I keep seeing your shots repeatedly. And what I have observed, seeing those shots, is the forearm guard which you have, right? It obstructs the flow of it touches your body, and therefore I found that your shots are in a particular style." And Sachin absolutely thanked him. Now, this is the quality of a person with growth mindset. He said, only I knew, and none of the coaches, professional coaches, told me this. But this person told me, and then the same day, I decided that I would take an action. He went to the went back, got his arm guard corrected, right, as per the size of his arm, right, so that, and where it needs to be tied up so that it doesn't have any impact on his batting. And that's available on the YouTube. Any one of you can watch that. It's a fantastic way of giving feedback also, right? So many times as leaders, we think that I can give feedback to Yashwan, tu ye theek nahi kar raha hai, right? That's not the way. I need to seek a permission from the person, asking whether he is ready to accept that feedback, ready to hear that feedback first, right? So I quote this example in terms of even giving feedback. So that's the point of a growth mindset, is these people are hungry for feedback even from anywhere, right? And then they work on it. As against a person with growth, a fixed mindset would have said, chai rak, coffee rak, nikal. Thank you so much, right? That's the difference between a person with growth mindset and a person with fixed mindset.
Marvelous, marvelous, Sridhar sir. Wonderful clarity you have given. Over to Arpan.
Yes, thank you so much, Sridhar sir, for this Sachin story. In fact, his humility is one of the qualities that makes him so successful, that he's open to learning. In fact, he's a player who has played over 700 international matches and has scored 100 international hundreds. So that means after every 6th time that he goes to bat, he scores a century. But what I am very interested is the 6 times he doesn't score a century. And there I would like to take your attention to the law of wasted efforts. Sometimes we feel that 2 or 3 times I fail, boss, this is not my cup of tea, I can't do it. But just imagine a lion who chases a deer, 75 times he doesn't get the deer. 100% of the rainfall that falls on the earth, 75 to 80% falls in the oceans. We don't get it. All the pollen grains that are taken by the bees and everything, 80% is lost. Only the 20% of it is actually utilized. But then we are the only people, the human beings, who always see that 3 or 4 failures means failures. That's the end of the road for me. No. Even Sachin, 700 matches, international matches, 100 centuries. That means every 7th time he gets a century, the 6 times he doesn't get. So what's the percentage? 18%, 19%. So that is our success rate. And that is what we need to keep in our minds when we experience failure. Because failure cannot be anything negative. Because I constantly believe that either I win or I learn, because I never lose. So failing is learning. Success stories never give me too many things to learn. But failure stories, though people don't write about that, tells us the road to success. So thank you so much, Sridhar sir. Probably I also chipped in because your thoughts were very inspirational, and they were very emotional because they came directly out of you. So now it is time to thank you, Sridhar sir, and I'll go over to my co-moderator and speaker, that is Yashwan sir. So a brief introduction of Yashwan sir before he delivers on his insights on LPC 100 Conclave. Yashwan sir is an author of Smart Pharma Sales Executive. He is a pharma sales trainer and leadership coach. He has 26 years of experience under his belt in companies like Cipla, Wokhard, Abbott Healthcare, Unichem, Torrent in sales, training, and development. His expertise areas are pharma product and sales training, managerial development program, outbound team building, and something very interesting. I would even like to ask Yashwan sir how he does it. That is firewalking and glasswork motivational workshops. Well, these are some things I myself will implore Yashwan sir ki sir mujhe bhi thoda sikhaiye, thoda ye ras mujhe bhi dijiye, kaise aap chalte hain fearlessly. So anyway, it's time to welcome Yashwan sir so that he can share the insights of LPC 100 Conclave. Over to you, Yashwan sir.
Thank you very much, Arpan. Thank you very much. I'm happy that someone is introducing me in this forum where I have been an integral part. Okay. So
Well,
thank
you
you
had
very much
introduced me
for
when I
this.
had come as a speaker. So I am doing returning the favor.
That is the benefit. Sometimes we should come as a speaker also, so that someone will do the introduction. So definitely, but my DNA is as a part of the panel. So I'm starting with very keen to see a lot of appreciation we are getting for Sridhar sir's session. So I would like to recognize those people who have been watching for last 1 hour. Mr. Janardhan Moria, Senthil, Abid Hussain, Shrikant, Rajesh Das, Srivasan Moria, Amitesh Mishra, ICS Verma sir. Thank you very much for watching that. Sanket Kapadia and Prashant Shalish Kapadia. Purnima Kanojia ma'am is watching. Pankaj Srivastav sir is watching and he has appreciated. Hanga Pandian is watching from Trichy and Satyam Tamar sir from Delhi. Baldev Chauhan. Thank you very much, Baldev. Baldev is having a question. I don't know whether to ask question to Sridhar sir or go to my session. Sir, a question Baldev has asked this. A brief question, otherwise he will be moving up. How we can develop growth mindset in people? That is his question, and a very valid question, because as you mentioned, growth mindset is very important in teams today. So if you can throw some light, if they want to develop growth mindset in people, some 2-3 tips already you have given to create hunger like that. If you can give some tips.
I think once as a leader, when you would like to create growth mindset, or as a parent, you would like to create growth mindset in your children, right? Or as a teacher, you would like to create growth mindset, or a trainer, you would like to create growth mindset, is first and foremost is to, as Arpan was talking about, is I achieve or I learn from my failures. I think that's one of the best things which Arpan told is now that's an outcome. But then how do you do that with your team members? You need to create an enabling environment where you accept failures. I'm not saying you accept failures and allow them to keep failing, right? Accept failures, have a dialogue with the person so that he learns from it and grows, right? Otherwise, many times these people accept failures, right? And just if you don't have a dialogue after that, then the performance may not come up, right? So accepting failures of the team members, but having a dialogue for them to understand what is it that they have learned and what is it that they would like to take next corrective action. That's one. Second is create a belief or create a self-fulfilling prophecy in them with a strong belief in you that your team member can do that, right? So you exhibit and state it very clearly. I told you the C of the ABCD is very important, right? So whenever you clarify expectations, believe me, friends, leaders need to be kind. And kindness not in terms of tolerating their poor performance. Kindness in being clear. So clarity is kindness, right? How clarity can be developed in them, right? If you are expecting, many times I expect you to do wonderful. The guy doesn't understand what wonderful means, right? So what does wonderful mean to you? Please do state that in as clear terms as possible, right? I think that's where even with our children we say कि तुम बहुत अच्छा करना चाहिए, तो बहुत अच्छा क्या है, ये भी तो उसको समझना चाहिए, right? So I think that is one thing where we need to spend some time, right? I think these are the two things I think to begin with, where you have allowed them to fail in different aspects and have a dialogue with them, right? That's one. And before that, have a very, very clear expectations from them. Right? The third thing could be you start practicing this. How often do you get bogged down? Please be aware of that. Once you are aware of that, maybe you could also change, right? How many times do I get bogged down because of failures? How many times do I get bogged down of not being able to do that? Do I change my way of doing it? Do I seek feedback from somebody, right? I think the third very important aspect, which I talked about, Sachin and the great stalwarts, right? And all of you must be knowing this many times. You must have heard feedback is the breakfast of the champions, right? So do you seek feedback from your team members? How often, right? I think that's one thing, but once you start doing that, the team members will also keep seeking feedback from you. And that's where the slow becomes fast.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for enlightening us. And Nasiruddin Chisti, one of our live participants today, is watching and having and learning. Nasiruddin, your feedback, how do you like this session? Unmute yourself.
So lots of learning, like the types of mindset, how people are doing. Means sir has addressed very correctly, like the accept, belief, clarifying the expectation clearly towards team. So and the good example of Dashrath Manji sir has told that how he had believed within himself, and being one man army, he had broken the mountain and find the way within the mountain. Almost for consistency was there for 22 years. He had strike the mountains with his ways, with his tools, with his resources. So good learning, and it has been always learning on Sundays, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you, sir.
for coming live. So with that, I'm going to the next session, and that, as I mentioned, many of the people who generally attend our session and every Sunday, last week being the physical event LPC 100 conclave, it was a whole day program, and lot of keynote speakers have come, and many of you could not watch it and could not attend it physically. So for the benefit of those who could not attend, we would like to share the key learning points. So let me share the key learning point. I'm sharing some slides. Okay. So I hope this was the starting point of LPC conclave. So first speaker of the conclave was Mr. O.P. Singh, Group CEO, Acumes Drug, and he talked about nowhere to now here, an interesting topic where he shared about how he started his journey as an MR and reached to the top of becoming a CEO in one of the largest company. That is what he shared, nowhere to now here. In that, some of the learning points is Laksha. Each and every person of us should be very clear about our goal in life. Once the Laksha is decided, then you can do wonders. Second thing he told was 5 key value systems to help transformation. And this slide I also liked most. The 5 value systems were build people to build business. He told it many times, and it is very true. If you want to build business, first you build your people, and the people will help you build the business. So this is very wonderful address to all the leaders who are having people under them. You focus on the people development, and people will definitely develop your business. Second thing he told is right process, well executed. Very important. Many companies are having excellent strategy, but the execution is a gap. Many of the organizations, the biggest challenge is the execution gap. So if right process, systems and process you follow in our organization, and strategy is well executed, then even an average study will give you wonderful result. Third thing, commitment with the hard work. Each and every person should be committed. It should not happen that in organization only top management is committed, or only one region is committed, others are doing the casual work. So entire team should be committed. And fourth thing he told, positive mindset for success. Everyone should have a positive mindset, just earlier Sridhar sir also mentioned growth mindset. This is a similar type of positive mindset. If you go to the field with a positive mindset without any negativity, definitely you will get better success. And last but not least, he told about the trust with the belief. Trust, my dear friend, is something which changes everything. If you remember your relationship with your wife, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your children, your relationship with your organization, and your relationship with your customer, all these relationships are built on trust, and they are deteriorated due to lack of trust. So trust is the most important component in all our personal and professional relationships. So this is what the 5 mantras he has given. And then he told Ajim Premji's quote, if people are not laughing at your goal are too small. So he has suggested you keep a goal so high that people should laugh at it. That means it is a really tough goal, so that you will enjoy achieving that goal. And then he told about your time is limited, so don't waste time. Steve Jobs, and everyone knows Steve Jobs' story, that he was he lived very short period of time, but he enjoyed each and every moment of time. He was so creative. He has brought something different. And that is what we should learn from him. That don't waste time in some negative things like what we do in Kacha Badam and Paka Badam and TikTok. This is the wastage of time, my dear friend. Do friendship with the positive minded people who will share positive things in your WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube so that you will learn positive things. Negative things are not having any future. So leave the Kacha Badam, Pakka Badam and learn something good from the good people. Your time is limited, so don't waste your time. This is what he has shared. And not only that, he shared some wisdom, words of wisdom, and he said, Sabd hi karma hai. That is very, very important. And if you remember those who were attending, he told Namaskar. The Indian culture, Namaskar is one of the unique way which says that any time in the day you can do Namaskar. So we should adopt the Indian culture. Jaisa sochoge, waisa hi paoge. That is what he has shared. Our second speaker, Mr. Manoj Saxena, is the MD South Asia Bayer, and he talked about leadership challenge in pharma, the global perspective. So let me share with you some of the key learnings he shared. Challenges. He shared organizations and leaders are having challenges inside and outside both the time. In current situation, there are some inside challenges within the organization and there are some outside challenges which are from the environment. So leaders need to deal with the challenges inside and outside both. And then he told digitization. Technology working today will not work tomorrow. Very wonderful example he gave. So your company, the leader should adopt, continuously adopting the new technology. Today's technology will not work tomorrow and tomorrow's technology will not work day after tomorrow. So keep on reinventing yourself. Keep on digitalization. That is what he shared. And he told that every 3 months or every 6 months, things will definitely change. So your organization should be agile organization, which is quickly adopting the change. And third thing he told about understanding local perspective. What works in Kenya will not work in Kerala. So if even if you're a global leader having many countries under you, you don't think that what is happening, what is working in Kenya or US and Japan will work in Kerala and Muzaffarpur. Their local perspective, it is very important for a leader to understand the local perspective. Accordingly, design your strategy so that it will work in your local area. And then he told acknowledging hyper competition. The competition has become hyper nowadays. So don't be complacent any point of time. Even if you are a leader, you're leading in your domain and therapy area, don't be complacent. Competition is hyper. Anytime any competitor will take you over. That is why don't fall in a trap of complacency. He told. These are some of the key learnings he shared. And last, engage people in a productive way. So really, I thoroughly enjoyed the session, and you might have also enjoyed. Third speaker, Mr. Ramesh Juneja, Senior Vice President, Reliance Retail, and his topic was Pharma Supply Chain, Changing Behavior and Leadership Mindset. It was also an interesting, very interesting topic. We being in pharma, not only in sales and marketing, we should be having a focus on supply chain also. And there is a drastic changes. The dynamics of supply chain is changing with the entry of e-pharmacy. All of you agree with me. He has given some data, digital story of India, which shows there is a great evolvement of acceptance of e-pharmacy in India. All right, assessing Indian consumers and opportunities. He has given some of the data which says there is a diverse e-commerce industry in India. If you see market size increasing, internet penetration happening, smartphone penetration to the rural area, payment modernization is happening, postal reliability is happening, consumer policy support is there. Not only that, B2C medical and pharmacy is little bit lacking, but it will gradually adopt. That he told. Everywhere people have adopted for e-commerce, the Flipkart, Amazon, Ola, Uber, everything. So in pharma, don't think that you'll be isolated. Your consumer is same, your customer is same. He will quickly adopt e-pharmacy very well. So pharma companies should be aware of that, and they should also adopt e-pharmacy in their organization very fast. And he has given e-pharmacy compound annual growth rate is as high as 40 to 55%. That is how the e-pharmacy is growing in India. So all the pharma companies, leaders, they cannot ignore that. They cannot stick to conventional method. It will definitely adopt, and the company which will adopt this concept quickly will be able to jump and get the mileage. He has given some data again on convergence toward digitalization, how quickly digitalization is happening. Some of the example he gave was NetMed, Pharmacy, 1mg, Apollo Pharmacy, MedPlus, Wellness Forever. These are some of the quick adopter of e-learning and digitalization in pharmacy. And lot of funding. He also told that all these big companies, they are getting huge funding, and that is going to happen, going to transform the business. So pharmacy, $1,500 million investment, 1mg, $200 million, MedPlus, $300 million, NetMed, $100 million. This much huge investment is happening by Tata, Reliance, and MediLife, Thyrocare. That is how going to transform the business of e-pharmacy. That is what he told. And challenges, lack of trust. What are the challenges e-pharmacy people are facing today? There is a lack of trust. People are thinking that through online, we may get duplicate medicine or counterfeited medicines. That type of trust, lack of trust is there. That organization need to build the trust. The way Amazon has built, the way Flipkart has built, that is how we need to build. Limited customer support, limited presence in regional language, all where English or somewhere Hindi is there, but there is a need of regional language in e-pharmacy that they need to consider. Access to tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So for the supply chain is concerned, if you see all the NetMed, 1mg pharmacy, they are able to cater into the top towns, metro cities and top towns, but still they are not able to reach to the micro interior. That is why they should do some logistic support and logistic system, create an infrastructure so that this online pharmacy should reach to the small villages also. And last but not least, data privacy issue is a big concern. So these were the 5 challenges in pharmacy. So take home message he told, consolidation among the number of players, for more than players will enter. Marketing companies will look for pin code specific data, SKU wise uptake. Better merchandising and increasing brand visibility is the need of the hour. Discount might not work for a long. Many companies are offering discount to grab market share, customers here, but this will not work for long. Your infrastructure, your strategy is more important. Zero tolerance for error, either in quality or delivery. That is what companies, those who are indulged in the e-pharmacy, should think of. And consumer is the king. Customer is the king. So you need to develop, modify a strategy according to the need of the customer. So these were the key take home from the Mr. Ramesh Juneja. And our fourth speaker was Mr. Amlesh Ranjan, Deputy Director, Sanofi, and he talked about phygital pharma, one of the very important word nowadays in last 2 years, digital plus phygital together, that is called phygital. And he talked about realities, imperative and effectiveness of phygital. His talk was also one of the very much appreciated talk, and he gave a very good insight into all the 3 components of digital pharma. What are the realities in today? What are the imperatives, and how we can define that, make it effective in marketing, effective in sales. So some key take home message from Mr. Amlesh Ranjan's presentation: human connect, face to face is going to stay. Although organizations have gradually adopted digital in the era of this COVID-19, and they were bound to adopt very quickly. They adopted organizations and people together, but face-to-face connection is going to happen, and that is how we proved in our recent LPC Conclave 100 also. Although digital we are going every week, but when we conducted physical meeting, huge response, 150 plus people gathered. That says what is the power of face-to-face connection. That is what. So it will remain there. Multiple channel of promotions are going to happen. Now, the only conventional channel of MR going to meet the doctor, that is no more the only thing will happen. That will have an important role, but multiple channel of promotion is going to stay in the organization. Culture of health is important, very, very important. Your organization, how he is focusing on culture of health. Health should be the prime focus, and patient-centric approach. Don't think that organization-centric approach should be there or product-centric approach will work. No, approach should be patient-centric. How your product, how your service is going to help the end consumer, and that is the patient. That is what is going to be the talk of the time. Be value partner to the organization, to the healthcare professionals. Don't only think of transactional business of give and take. You be a value partner for the healthcare professional so that they see value in your product, and be the Netflix of your domain. Another important tip Mr. Amlesh Ranjan has given. Netflix is very known in the platforms, right? OTT platform. Similarly, whichever therapy you are working, cardiovascular, respiratory, neuropsychiatry, whichever therapy your company is working, in that domain, you should become the Netflix, the only knowledge partner for the organizations. That is what he suggested. Don't just sell product, add services to the product. And then he told, marketing effectiveness, content is the king. How powerful is your content? That will remain the main driving factor in the marketing effectiveness. Partnership with physician is the need of the hour. That is called partnership in practice. Apart from providing product, apart from providing services to the healthcare practitioner, how your company, your organization, your services are going to help him in dealing with patient challenges, adherence of the therapy, acceptance, compliance, availability, affordability. That is what is called partnership in physician's practice. Sales effectiveness has to evolve given the due respect. Many of the organizations, they have SFE department, sales effectiveness department is there. Some people are working on that, but companies are not giving it seriousness. So what he told is, this is time to respect this SFE department, and it has to be evolved because this is the need of the hour. And then he told, go phygital. 4 key points he told at the end. Go, why a company should go phygital, that is physical plus digital, to serve physicians, to serve patient, for becoming competitive advantage, and last but not least, for the sustainability of your business. These are the 4 points, and I like that. So you should go physician to serve the patient, to serve the physician, for getting a competitive advantage in other competition, and to bring your business to sustainability. That is the 4 core points why you should go phygital. That is what value, that is what he told about very important thing about value, and that was value to add transformation, value you hold. Value you hold, add transformation, transforms, value you hold. That is why value addition is the need of the hour. This is what I think we had to discuss on that. So although it is very difficult to share each and everything we learned, but what I thought that at least keynotes, all the keynote speakers, learning points should be shared, reinforced with our viewers so that they will also get mileage of that. Thank you very much. That is it from my side. Over to Arpan.
Yes. Thank you, Yashwan sir. In fact, the points that you presented, which were delivered by our speakers, distinguished speakers on LPC 100 conclave, was really insightful because first of all, due to my late arrival, I missed out on what OP Singh sir said. So thank you so much for throwing light. There was a great deliberation from Mr. Manoj Saxena, Mr. Ramesh Juneja, and of course, Mr. Amlesh Ranjan. Well, something I really appreciate about OP sir is the Namaste. In fact, this is the buzzword now. Not only Namaste is our traditional way of greeting people, of respecting people, but with the COVID pandemic, this has become the best and the most effective way to greet people because we are not touching them. We are maintaining social distancing, but at the same time, we are respecting them, we are greeting them. So thank you for that. But Yashwan sir, I won't leave you without two questions from my side. First question is, sir, you along with Raman sir, Vinod sir and ICS sir have founded LPC. So taking you down the memory lanes, when you were on LPC 1, did you think 100 was possible?
No, not at all. We were not thinking. It was just an initiative by Raman actually. It is his idea. We joined little later, but his idea was to engage. His idea was to engage people during lockdown period. A wonderful idea. And he started with some of his friends who were academicians. If you remember, some of the academic professors from his Akola, Nasik area, his classmates, and they started sharing something on their perspective, on their research papers. That is how he started. And then he invited us, and I thought it was a very good idea to involve all the pharma sales and marketing people. That is how it was started. But we had never thought that so many people will join and so much a good respect or equity Life Pharma Coalition we get. It is not, although initiated by we people, but the team effort, the way people have joined and selflessly they started contributing, mainly Arpan Kumar Paul, Hitesh Upreti sir, I want to share, Hitesh Upreti sir being based at Kenya, he helped us in creating a global platform of LPC because we all don't have any reach to global platform. And he truly made it global, involving many leaders from big countries and different pharma people, involved them, created that. Priti Jitani ma'am also shared, invited many people, connected with us, and also connected many of her network. That is how it became global. So although initiative was from Raman and we, but we cannot forget the contribution done by these people in continuous selfless effort to make it here. And now there is no look back. Now so we are in a stage that we can now make scale up to a greater height. And that is what we look forward to support from each and every person. We request people, those who are watching also, to join LPC in the core team, become registered member, and we will have many more learning initiatives for each and every person. We have a repository of great leaders, that is our strength, and they are willing to support as a mentor. That is what is our strength. And we will have many more mentor program courses, and we can make it a global, truly global learning and sharing and networking platform. Thank you, Arpan.
Yes, absolutely. एक कहावत है कि मैं तो अकेला ही चला था जानिब मंजिल, लोग जुड़ते गए, कारवां चलता गया. So that is what LPC is all about, isn't it? So I think Mr. Sudeep Bhaumik has also got a question up his sleeve. So yes, put it to Mr. Yashwan Mishra.
Sure.
Yes. Mr. Mishra, just you are talking about this Amlash Ranjan. So one point he has mentioned that multiple channel of promotion, as I am also from the pharma company. So what we do now, we do physically. Now at the time of lockdown, obviously it is, it is a blessing for us means professionals as a disguise. I always used to believe if this corona does not able to come, maybe we could not able to gather like that. Yes, we have learned physical promotion. And definitely WhatsApp was there earlier. CME has also been conducted so many times in the physically or digitally. So what are the other sales promotion you can share with us? Means what are the other sales promotion can be done? If you can give little insights.
Good question. So that is good that you are a keen learner, and that is the best part. If you learn, a lot of ideas will come from every part of time. So definitely when we say multi-channel promotion and multi-channel approach to doctors, what comes to our mind is two only. One is engaging, going and a medical representative going to the doctor and discussing about his product. That is one channel. It is conventional, which is going to remain always. Now companies have also tried to engage them through CMEs, and CME is also not new. It is a very conventional. But nowadays, during this 2 year of lockdown, what are the different channels have come is a webinar, right? Wonderful way of engaging doctor is webinar. Okay, So webinars are also, and many companies nowadays have come out with the digital promotion through Zoom call. Many multinational actually initiated, and some of the top Indian companies also engaging customers through Zoom call or telehealth. These are the platform. They're creating telehealth where doctor can interact with the patient, and that is how they can engage the doctor. Another way of engaging doctor, as I told, is the way of conducting counseling workshop, patient awareness program. Many of the doctor, major challenge for the doctor is adherence of the therapy. If it is a diabetes patient, he will not adhere to the diet control, he will not adhere to the medicines, he will not adhere to the exercise. So whatever therapy doctor will give, the diabetes will not be controlled. That is the biggest challenge. So if pharma companies can partner with the doctor in patient awareness, that will be great help for the doctor. This is another channel. So we are not promoting our brand, we are helping doctor to address these issues and challenges. So this is the innovative channel or promotional multi-channel, what I say, to connect with the doctor. Many of the companies like Cipla have worked for 10 years. They engage doctor through radio show, TV shows, local newspapers, because many doctors who are having very good knowledge and expertise, they want to share with the doctor others, but they don't have forum. So what Cipla type companies say, they do talk show. So that doctor will come in the talk show, Red FM, Radio Mirchi, like that, and they will share their learning about asthma, respiratory, COPD, so the patients, also other doctors will be aware about how to deal with these patients. So these are the innovative channels. Many companies, they invite doctors to give lecture on the TV shows also, local TVs and national TV shows. So Alchem has recently done on Diabetes Day, they invited some of the top diabetologists and endocrinologists, and they discuss about what is happening in the field of diabetes and how a Indian primary care physician can deal with the diabetes. So the point to say is there are many ways, many channels of promotion, but their intention should be very clear, patient-centric intention. Don't think about your product. Don't think about doctor. Think about the patient. Whatever initiative you take, how the initiative is going to help the patient, definitely your promotion will be helpful. Right?
When the purpose is noble, the
yes,
things will happen in it.
Intention is noble, definitely it will be helpful. Patient should be in the core.
As Arpan is here, one
Yes.
thing just I want to know from you and as well Arpan, that now things is evolving, that is pharma storytelling. So what is you feel that that storytelling is going to build addition in our promotion, because we know Arpan, he is a consultant storyteller, and I am one of his great admirer. So how this can be upgraded in this channel of promotions? If you can let us know, for me and for my all the viewers. It has already been started in our organization, RenoCare Pharmaceutical, with the leadership of our director, Mr. Krishna Balaji. Already we have a paper meeting, people empowered meeting, and let's talk. So we are already started this, this from the moral stories, from Aesop fables, lot of stories we are starting. But how we can make it a channelizations to the doctor's promotions? If you can just share with me.
Yes, there is a word in pharmaceutical, why pharmaceutical, in the entire industry, of disruptive innovation. So disruptive innovation is something that we see, it comes as a very small, a minuscule thing, but then gradually it becomes a part and parcel of our life. That means we cannot live without it. When internet first came, knocked the doors of this world, it came as a very small thing, but today think, you cannot survive without internet. And that is what Android phone is all about. That is what this digital technology is all about. Now let us go back to our childhood. Human beings have a very special genes that they love stories, and they correlate with stories, and they recollect stories. Some stories we have heard when we were 2 years, 3 years, 4 years old, or 5 years old, we still remember. But how many of the lessons that our teachers told us at that time do we remember? It is because whenever we are given a task, we feel it is difficult. But when we are told a story, we think, yeah, that's for me. Mere liye usme kuch hai. So that is why nowadays we are finding that stories can be a very good replacement for PowerPoint presentation as far as conveying the message to the audience or the participant is concerned. Because story carry the entire essence of the presentation without putting them into the boredom of trying to remember something. So stories always have a natural connect with human beings because human beings' lives are full of stories. Each and every person in our life have stories. Yes, it depends whether we are expressing it or not. If we can express it, we can become one of the best sellers. But the fallacy is that most of us don't tell our stories. But our stories can definitely be an inspiration for the other person to learn. And that has been my endeavor. The stories that I say, they are not something that I have created. In fact, most of them are already known to all of you. My way of recreating stories is to blend them with something that has got something for the pharma industry that we can get the best out of people. And that has been a journey that I started with a belief that yes, today or tomorrow, I will definitely try to establish this concept of a story with the pharmaceutical industry. And the words that you so wonderfully spoke about makes me feel at least that probably the first step that I have taken has been on the right path. And that is why it is always said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And in fact, when we are on a journey of 1,000 miles, we hardly have a vision of the first mile. We can't see more than the first mile, but it is the belief in ourselves and it is the vision of the future that takes us along this journey. And thank you so much, Sudipta, for being a part of this journey and telling me that yes, stories are definitely something which is carrying the future for the pharmaceutical industry. And this is one of the most important ways in which we can improve our communication skills, because within communication lies the stories, and within the stories lies how well we can convey it to the audience. And that is the essence of storytelling. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Arpan. Really, indeed, it is a pleasure hearing Arpan always. And he is master of storytelling, actually. Right. So thank you very much. Sridhar sir needs to move. Actually, he is having some meeting and we can also close. So Sridhar sir, thank you very much for coming today and gracing the occasion. We really liked the way you explained the complex topic very easily. Your closing remark from your side before you leave. Sridhar sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Yashwan, for giving me this opportunity to interact. It was really good to interact with so many people. And I think what you talked about, Arpan, is absolutely true in terms of, I had actually forgotten the aspect of what was written in the story of the letter which was given by Edison's teacher. I think he did narrate that, and that actually helped build the story very well, right? So what I would really appreciate is the amount of connect which you have achieved, the LPC has achieved, and I think so many people are there together. And I wish a continuous growth. And I also understand that you have plans to take it to different parts of the country and create chapters there. I think certainly it will benefit the industry as such. And also the way you summed up all the aspects of LPC 100. So despite not being able to attend that, I think I could learn quite a lot from all these speakers which you had collated here. I would request each one of you to please do practice what you learn, because I think that's one thing which is most of the times missing, and therefore we don't see the change in ourselves, right? So whatever you have learned, whatever you have liked, and whatever you would like to practice, I think if you put it in practice, you would see a great change in yourself. And life is all about these small changes. So I think that each step counts a lot, and that's how all of you have come up to this 101st episode. I wish a lot more to all of you. Thank you so much. It was a great pleasure interacting with all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. So we can take closing remark from everyone and can close, right, Arpan? So Sudip, how did you find today's session? We look forward to you as a panelist and speaker also. Even though you are being groomed from viewer to panelist to speaker, that is great thing. And then the moderator.
Yes, yes. It is really amazing, as we believe that life does not stop teaching. So he also does not stop learning. So because life, you keep on giving us the lessons. So we also be prepared to have the teachings from the life of the society. So, and it is a fantastic interaction with my colleagues, with the viewers. There gets motivations. I always felt if I had got at the starting of my career, which I started in 96, 95, so it will be more. I had been groomed up myself in in a upskill. I could have been upskill in better way. So better late than never. So really, I am enjoying. That's why every Sunday, wherever I am, so I am participating. And the way Mr. Sridhar has today narrated that belief moves a mountain. That again, I am recalling my feelings, and I have learned from my mentors. First, you conceive, then believe, and then only you can achieve. So yesterday I was there with our managing director, Mr. Ashok Iyengar. He was also telling, and he has done. He has also ordinary medical representative. Step by step, he has gone up. When you know that he is today one of the successful entrepreneur with process and system ethics, and our Kishan Balaji also know as a medical representative today. Also, he is an entrepreneur and he is a mentor of LPC Group. And in from RPPL, I feel very happy and fortunate. Around 10 to 12 members are there who are actively participating, and many of the peoples now you see they will come and joining. Will contribute from our company side a large number. So as you have told, sir, that we can do a Hyderabad,
Yes.
this LPC conclave Hyderabad. Definitely it will be a mega show, and I will take the responsibility to make it happen with all my support of my colleagues and you, sir. So today's program again already have discussed. Thank you, Sridhar sir, for your fantastic presentation, insights, and definitely we will execute with our efforts and attitude, which is also because knowledge is not enough until unless we apply in our day-to-day life. So thank you once again. Thank you, Arpan, for giving the insight. And I request before we close, I want to listen a story from Arpan, which will definitely rejuvenate us for our future. And if possible, time permits from the Yashwan Mishra sir, because Eclat and Chiclet, what you have told, sir, it was a really fantastic. And Nasiruddin, thank you for being a partner. Let us make our LPC coalition in a bigger height across the world.
Sure,
Thank
sure, sure.
Nasiruddin, over to you. Closing remarks from your side. Then we go
Yeah,
to
sir. So day by day means, and every Sunday LPC's platform is raising a bar, and the quality and the content what we are learning over here is very good. And within a time spent after 11 on Sundays, it is worth, sir. Like lots of contents are there, but relevant and specific to which we can correlate. The content is on LPC, what I feel, sir. And Sridhar sir has given very good, examples of Sachin Tendulkar as well as Dasrath Manji. So I loved and enjoyed. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to be a part of LPC, sir. I heartily thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Over to Arpan.
Thank you so much, Yashwan sir. In fact, I consider every person as a dynamite. It just requires that gelatin stick to ignite. And I always believe that my story should be that gelatin stick, which is going to ignite that dynamite so that we can fulfill to the best of our abilities. Not only best of our abilities, we can outperform our own selves. As if we can think of Mr. Sergei Bubka, the world champion as far as pole vault is concerned. There was a time when he didn't have any competitor, because the heights that he scaled, nobody else in the world could even think of it. So he became his biggest competitor. So in our quest for excellence, sometimes what happens, we feel very alone because there's nobody around. And that's the time we look for inspiration. And the inspiration is ourselves, within ourselves, because we compete with our own selves to bring out the best from ourselves. And that has been a mantra of LPC also, because every session we are trying to be better than the last. And that has been what is keeping us moving forward so far. And I know that this endeavor is going to continue and is going to scale newer heights. So as Sudipda said that he wants a story, and as it is customary, since we totally discussed on mindset about today, so both from Sridhar sir and as well as Yashwan sir, who said about the mindset of the top leaders while sharing their insights on LPC 100 conclave. So today's story is on a German general. Yes, Germans, we know they are very brave and they are very gritty. Once they decide on something, they are definitely going to do it. So a German general once decided to attack his opponent, but the biggest obstacle for the German general was that his army was very small, and the opponent that he was going to attack, that king, had a very big army. But then the German general thought that no, I have to win this battle and I have to conquer over my opponent. So he was very confident about winning, but that was not the case about his soldiers. The soldiers were not that confident, though he was very confident. So on the way to the battlefield, they stopped on the way, and the general said, let us pray that we will all win. So they totally came together, made a clutter and started praying so that they would win the battle. And after doing the prayer, what the general did, the general said that let me flip a coin. Let me do a toss. He flipped the coin and he said that if heads comes, we are surely going to win. But if tails comes, maybe there is a chance we may be defeated. And saying this, the general flipped the coin. And to everybody's happiness, it came head. That means they were going to win. And yes, the attack that they did was vigorous. Though they were outnumbered as far as their opponents were concerned, but they actually hit them blue and black and they emerged victorious. And at the end of it, the general said that, yes, this is the confidence that you had that we will win, and we actually did it. Now what happened? One of his soldiers said, you are right, sir. Destiny plays a very important part. Since we were destined to win, we actually won it. And after saying this, the general showed the soldier the coin. Now, you know what the coin had? The coin had heads on both the sides. The coin did not have a tail. So have we heard the saying that heads I win, tails you lose? So that means I'll always win. So friends, results are always mind games. They are always mind games, and they are outcome of our thoughts, our feelings, and our action. So if we believe that we can, we will definitely win. In fact, I am reminded of a small saying of Saurav Ganguly, the Prince of Kolkata. I am taking you back to that time when Saurav even did not make his debut. He had gone to England. Okay, and he had not even played his first test. He was playing some county matches, and there he met Mr. Desmond Haynes. We all remember Desmond Haynes as the batting partner, opening partner of Gordon Greenwich of West Indies. And he asked Desmond Haynes that, Desmond, can you give me some tips on batting? Desmond said something which Saurav remembers till now. He said that, Saurav, I have never watched you play because you have never played for India. But I'll tell you one thing. Every night before the game, when I think that tomorrow I'm going to score 100, 9 out of 10 times, I actually do that. But the night before the match, when I'm not confident, I feel that I'll be getting out very soon. Those are the times that I feel. So every time that I decide that, yes, I'm going to do it, though my destination is not visible, but I am absolutely good on my mindset. I am very firm on my mindset, and I do it. So friends, my only advice to all of you, if you are harping on something that I'm going to reach there, believe in your abilities and think that you will be successful. Maybe you will fall many times, but falling down doesn't mean failure. Falling always means learning, because every time you fall, you learn something new. So this brings us towards the end of our LPC 101. So first and foremost, I need to thank our wonderful speakers, Sridhar sir and Yashwan sir, for being so nice and giving us such wonderful insights, both on mindset, motivation, and LPC 100 conclave. We also had 3 wonderful guests with us, Sudeep Da, Mr. Nasiruddin, who has always been supporting, and he has been in the journey on LPC 100 conclave as well, and Mr. Aramugam Arasan, because all the 3 of you have brought a new lease of life to LPC 101. Friends, we have almost got over COVID, but still, please maintain COVID appropriate behaviors of mask, sanitization, and social distancing. And I'm very sure that in a few months' time, we will totally win over this pandemic. So here is Arpan Kumar Paul. Thank you all for being a part of LPC journey and supporting us in our endeavor. We will once again meet you next Sunday with a new set of speakers and a new set of learnings. So far, till now, it is goodbye and thank you to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you from here. I'm ending this meeting.
Yes, yes, please.